Now we're going to be looking at the interest rate of credit cards. Okay, so we're going to look at the variety of interest rates that's going to be charged when you use your credit card. So starting with an example, find the equivalent annual interest rate for the 0.032% per day. Okay, because we usually calculate per annum, we usually like to calculate the per annum interest rate when it's in this kind of form. So this is easy, guys. How many days in a year? Even if it doesn't really mention, we always calculate 365 days in a year. So it's going to be that multiplied by 365 to get the 1 year's interest rate. Okay, so interest rate per annum. Just simply going to be that. Just calculate it with your calculator. You should get 11.68% per annum. So simple. Question 5, find the equivalent annual interest rate for 0.035% per day. Again, the same question. So what are you going to do, guys? Multiply that by 365. Okay, and you should get that. Very simple, isn't it? That's the whole logic about this. So if you're getting this, you're pretty much on the very good right track. Question 6, find the equivalent annual interest rate of 0.88% per month. So how many months in a year? 12. So we're simply going to multiply that by 12 to get the 1 year's worth of interest rate. So it's going to be 10.56% per annum. Okay, so very simple. Question 7, calculate the amount of simple interest that is payable of the credit card debt of $220 for 10 days at 0.04% per day. Okay, so we're going to just simply use simple interest, as they say, and they've got the credit card debt, got it for 10 days, 0.04% per day. Okay, and as you can see, it's in the same units, so we don't really have to worry about changing units. So I'm simply going to use our I equals to PRN formula. Hope that's stuck in your head by now. So it's going to be $220, that's our principal, and the 0.04%, and then times it by 10 days. Okay, and they're just doing this to make a little percentage notation. So 0.04% is basically like that as a decimal. Just multiply it all together, put it in your calculator, you should get $0.88, so 88 cents. Okay, so that's your answer for question 7. It's basically just using a simple interest formula. Alright, and because it's in the same units, you don't have to worry about it even if it's in days. Okay. Question 8, calculate the amount of simple interest that is payable of the credit card debt of $1,000 for 35 days at 19.25% per annum. Now you have to worry about units because it's different. Yeah? So what are we going to do? Show you. There's going to be $1,000 times 19.25% as a decimal. Just wrote that as a decimal. And you're going to divide that by 365 because this is a per annum interest rate. And this is for days, isn't it? So we're just going to simply divide it by 365 days to get the daily interest rate. So you're going to change one or the other to make it into the same unit. But I'm just going to divide this by that to get days, daily rate. And then you simply multiply by 35 days because this one's already in days. Multiply it all, you should get $18.46. Okay, so we've done a lot of this before, changing units. You should be very good at this. David bought reference books at $250 on 5th of June using his credit card, which has no interest-free period. He paid this off on 27th of June and was charged simple interest at a rate of 19.55% per annum from the date of purchase. How much interest did he pay on this purchase? Okay, so you've got to really understand the question. It's got quite a bit of information in it. Okay, so the key thing here is the interest-free period. This is the key part here. What is an interest-free period? Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know that when you use your credit card, what are credit cards actually used for? Credit cards are used for when you want to purchase an item, but you don't want to pay at that spot. You're going to pay that later, then you use your credit card. But if you're paying back later, interest is definitely going to be charged, isn't it? But for a lot of credit card companies, they offer you a interest-free period. So if you pay back your money within that period, you don't have to pay any interest. So basically, you're just purchasing that item for that price. Okay, so you don't have to worry about interest within that period. But of course, if you exceed that period and you pay back later, interest is going to be charged from the end of that period. Okay, so that's the whole idea of the interest-free period. And so that's why they give us some dates. So that's going to be telling us when he's actually paying his debt. So let's have a look. 22 days from 5th of June to 27th of June. Because he bought it at the 5th of June and he's got 27th of June, there's going to be 22 days in between. Okay. Now we're not going to really worry about the interest-free period because there is no interest-free period. So this credit card company isn't that good because you have to pay interest no matter what. So we're going to have the number of terms as being 22 days. And our daily interest will simply be the 19.55%. Okay, that divided by 365. Okay, because we're working with days, it's a good idea to change this rate into daily rate. So that's what I'm doing. Now interest equals to PRN. You all know this formula. Just put it in. And you should get $250, which is the purchase price of the book. So we can make that as P. And times it by our daily interest rate. Okay. And then times it by how many days we're going to be charging interest on. Just 22 days. Okay. And we have the same units, don't we? So that's a good thing. $2.95. So basically our interest for using a credit card for the book is going to be simply $2.95. Okay, so that's the whole logic about this. Have a look. Okay, so let's move on. Question 10. Julia has a credit card with interest rate of 18.688% per annum on all purchase at a daily rate from the date of purchase. Okay. Okay, so calculate the equivalent daily rate of interest. Okay, because it's purchasing at a daily rate, we're going to find that daily rate. What are we going to do? This is the per annum interest rate, so we should simply divide it by 365 to get the daily rate. Just simply going to be that. Okay, so these parts, it's going to be easy. Now part B. Julia used her credit card on 17th of July to pay her interest equipment at the amount of $450. Okay, she paid the credit card account on 10th of August. How many days was she charged interest? Okay, so she's used her credit card at 17th of July and she's paid it off at 10th of August. So within that period, we're going to be charging interest. So 14 days in July from 17th of July. So from 17th of July until the end of July, we only have 14 days left. And what is it, 10th of August? We have 10 days in August. So in between those two periods, we have 14 days plus the 10 days. So it's simply going to be 24 days we're going to be charging interest. Okay, so if you want to get along with this topic well, you got to know how many days in each month, right? Okay, now how much was the simple interest? So we've calculated how many days we're going to be charging interest, so we can actually put it all into our simple interest formula. I equals to PRN. $450, okay, is our principal. Times it by our rate. Remember, we've calculated the daily rate. And remember, in our previous part, we calculated our number of days we're going to be charging interest. Right? Okay, now that's going to be $5.53. So have a look at that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, part D, it says how much does she pay altogether including the interest charge? Okay, so altogether she's basically paying the $450, which is the principal value, plus $5.53 of interest. We've calculated that just previously, haven't we? So that's going to be $455.53. That's basically all there is to it.